talking about independent and dependent variables. So a variable is an element or factor that can vary and change. So whenever you're performing a science experiment, everything that you put into it, everything that you measure, those are all variables. Or even in your everyday tasks, the things that you do, those are all variables. Does that make sense? All right, so we have independent and dependent variables. An independent variable is a variable that you can change, and a dependent variable is a variable that you observe and measure. So you can think of these as cause and effect. The independent variable is the cause, and the dependent variable is the effect. So for example, the type of shampoo I use can determine how frizzy my hair is, right? Or how fast or how slow I run in a marathon can determine what time I make it to the finish line. Does that make sense? And a way that we can remember this is by this little tune. It goes to This Land Is Your Land. Do you guys know that song? This land is your land, this land is my land. Okay, but instead of those lyrics, we're gonna say, if you can change it, it's independent. What happens after is what's dependent. Dependent comes from what's independent. I is the thing that causes D, causes D. All right, so anyone have any questions before we all try it?
I have a question.
Yes.
So this I always comes before D?
Actually, no, not necessarily. Sometimes the dependent variable can come before the independent variable, and we're gonna look more into that when we do these practice problems over here. All right, so for now, we're gonna try and sing this all together. All right, so we're gonna use our big, loud voices so that everyone can hear. Y'all ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. If you can change it, it's independent. What happens after is what's dependent. Dependent comes from what's independent. I is the thing that causes D, causes D. Yay, good job. You guys have really pretty voices. Okay, so does anyone have questions before we move on? Independent, dependent variables? No? Okay, so we're gonna look at these two examples right here. So the first one says, Timon and Pumbaa want to know if the color of a plant's leaves have to do with the sunlight the plant receives. So I want you guys to discuss with each other and try and come up with what is the independent and what is the dependent variable.
Well, since it's talking about what it receives, that means it's like an effect afterwards. So
Yes.
maybe
It's
the color is like, yeah, like the color can be independent.
the colors
And the sunlight
is dependent.
that receives, yeah, is dependent.
Nice.
All right, can anyone raise their hand and tell me what the independent variable is? All right, so Liz, do you want to come and underline that in red?
Sure
And
thing.
who can come and underline the dependent variable in blue? Dependent variable. Go ahead, Vanessa. And if you're at your desk, go ahead and think if what your classmates are saying are right. All right, so that's right. The independent variable is the color of the plant's leaves, and the dependent variable is the sunlight that the plant receives. So the amount of sunlight that the plant receives causes or affects the color of the plant's leaves. Does that make sense? All right, we're gonna try one more. And for this one, I want you guys to think about what Vanessa asked earlier about dependent and independent coming before each other, which one goes first or second. So Phineas and Ferb wants to know which paper airplane will fly farther, the one with short wings or the one with long wings. So go ahead and discuss. I'll give you guys time for that again.
Well, since Phineas and Ferb sing a lot, and the song says independence first, I'm gonna guess that it's the airplane that flies farther is independent. The distance it flies.
So we have to go with the wings are dependent. No, the wings are independent.
Yeah, the wings are
And then
independent.
the distance it flies is dependent because like what she said earlier is how fast you run determines the time that you get to the finish line. So
Oh yeah, because
All right, I hear great discussions. Does anyone want to come and underline the independent and dependent variable for this one? Go ahead. Patrick, thank you for volunteering. And be discussing at your tables if what he's doing is right. All right, perfect. So how long or how short the wings are can determine how far the paper airplane will fly. Does that make sense? Any more questions? All right, so whenever you guys do your worksheet or your homework tonight, go ahead and think about what we talked about in class, and if you need help, remember this tune.